Hello everyone and welcome back to Teach Astronomy. My name is Victoria, but you can call me Vicky, but today you can call me Kai. And you may notice we do not have our fourth. This has happened before. Usually it is one of the players and not our DM. And once again, Kyle has a stick through his face. Let me try to fix that. Haha, it's gone. There you go. But at the moment, we are just waiting for our Game Master, Grant, to try to figure out some technical difficulties on his end. But we figured we could do our little introduction and a recap while we wait. Just kidding, he's here. Look at that. Let me put them in the right places. Oh, I'm going to do a little bit of shuffling around now. Oh boy. Oh boy. There we go. Hello.
How's it going?
Welcome.
Hello.
I was just explaining to everyone that you were having technical difficulties, but I'm glad that they were hopefully managed. We'll see.
Hey, I'm here. That's an improvement over a minute ago.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just welcoming everybody to Dungeons & Dragons in Space. Here we play Dungeons & Dragons in space. Grant is our lovely game master. I play Kai, a pilot, an heirloom human, which just means that I am the classic version of human. We also have Kyle as Leaf and Matthew as Dr. Aronnax, which you guys, if you want to explain your characters real quick, introduce them for anybody new here, go for it. Kyle, you want to go first?
Sure. I'm Leaf. Leaf in the wind. I'm a genetic variant B human, also known as an elf, and I'm a psionic adept hacker.
And Matthew.
I am Dr. Aronnax, who is a physician doctor, and I am a cephalopod dominant human variant.
Yes. And Grant is our game master, and Lynn Jersey thinks you deserve a drink.
Yeah. I'm not going to go on my rant about how Windows needs a proper sleep mode that doesn't mess up on my computer every single time I use it.
Oh god.
Join the dark side. Switch to Linux.
I would, but my video games.
I don't know.
Okay.
Mine all work fine.
All right, fine. Okay, so I guess I will start. I've got windows slowly appearing as we go here, so I do have my notes. So let me actually get to the point in the story where we're actually at here.
Would you like to quiz us
Right.
on what we remember from last week while you set your stuff up?
That is a good question, actually. What do you all remember happening last week?
So last week I got a tattoo.
That's just what I remember too.
I got to give Kai a tattoo.
Yeah. We were assigned a new mission to go and check out a planet that we were getting a distress signal from that we have not been to, like no one from our crew has been to.
The water world?
Yes. And I think we were getting ready to land because we realized that the only place to land was either this like busted up landing pad or on top of a building.
Essentially, yes. So your options are, and let me turn myself up a little bit because I remember that being feedback from chat last time. Your options were land on the destroyed from orbit landing pad, which is not going to be an easy roll, I can promise you that. Or land on top of the modules and potentially cause damage to one of the modules of this surface facility. You are also going to be landing during a hurricane, which is going to make all sorts of fun things happen.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Alrighty. So yes, that is essentially where we're at now. The way I am going to run this is not by hearing myself randomly in the corner screen here, because I do want to keep an eye on what's going on. Potato graphics engaged. All right. So here we are. All right, cat. Now is not the time. So You enter into the atmosphere, and for just a few moments, you are above the storm itself. The way these rounds are going to operate, Kai, as the pilot, you automatically go first because you have to make that pilot check, or something bad happens. At the same time, the two following checks are split between Matthew and Kyle. You two can decide exactly what you do in the moment. A little refresher. The shuttle will provide 2 checks per turn, a +2 bonus to the computer use skill or any other thing you're using the computer for, such as flying. So, Kai, if you wanted to avail yourself of that in any turn, as the first person up, you are welcome to do so. Now, that being said, it is time for your first pilot check.
Great. Do I have to decide where we're landing right now?
You can decide when you get closer.
Okay.
But yeah, you can decide when you get a little closer.
Okay. Pilot check time. Oh boy.
Do it.
Okay. It's not the best. But hold on, I have to pull up my skills. My bad.
You're
My
good.
bad. Pilot. Ooh, 10. 18.
18?
Good roll.
Well,
Well, it was great. I have a 10 in pilot skills.
So you
it's
just
like-
come in through the storm and land them.
Yeah. Easy.
all right. So, yeah, 18 wasn't high enough. You
Really?
actually, as soon as you hit the boundary layer for this storm, you just feel the controls get yanked from you. And I've also incorporated the ship's maneuverability as well into this roll. So, did you add the computer use as well?
No.
No?
No. That's 2.
Yes. Okay.
20.
Never mind. Disregard everything I just said.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. I will say this. It is rough going.
Yeah,
The shuttle is fighting you the entire time. And you keep yourself true to your coordinates and your instruments, and you are generally able to make progress. However, by your estimate, it would take about 5 more rounds to get through this storm, so you've got 5 more rolls.
Oh boy.
That being said, I also get to roll.
Fun.
Let's see. That is a 2. You have a alarm go off on your console, and all of you are aware of a thunderous crack. And Kai, you immediately notice that you're having trouble turning to port. One of your maneuvering thrusters appears to have been hit by
Cool.
a lightning strike. One of your fellow crew members could potentially fix that with computer use.
All right, here we go.
Thank you, Playing Science, for continuing to subscribe with Prime for 5 months. That's Matthew, isn't it? Thank you. Thank you, Matthew. It's okay,
all
my
right.
mom's on here too. It's fine.
What color dice are we using?
Oh man, somebody in chat, pick a color.
I'm told pick a color, any color.
Yes. We'll have to give them 1 second. They're a little behind. My dice are so pretty.
They are.
They have a beautiful Bureau of Balance symbol on them. They came in a beautiful thing. They're great. Look, we got an orange.
Orange.
Yes.
I have an
Ooh.
orange.
I think my first D20 was an orange, actually.
And an orange die.
Ooh.
You have an orange.
I actually have one of the original Dungeons and Dragons orange dice.
Oh yeah, they were orange, weren't they?
Yeah. This is from the classic Dungeons and Dragons kit.
Before you roll, I need you to declare whether or not you're using the second computer use boost.
There was a thundering crack,
Yes.
and an alarm is going off. Yes, I'm
Yes.
using it.
Okay. You're technically rolling damage control. So I'm gonna say that's a computer use because the computer can worm its way around stuff. So go for it.
Okay, computer use. 17 plus 8 plus 2, so 27.
Okay, Kai. The thrusters come back online. You're not sure how, but they do.
That was very fast.
All right. Now, Matthew, you've got a couple of options open to you. You could use the sensors to get a better look of the facility as you're approaching. You could also do a computer use check of your own to help on the next round and confer some sort of bonus to either one of your crewmates, depending on what they do. So I think you could also, if you wanted to, disengage from where you are in the shuttle, because you're, I'm assuming, currently buckled in the cockpit. You could disengage and go see if there's something physically requiring repair if you want to try that.
I'm not really adept at fixing. Actually, I mean, let's see, repair. Yeah, I guess I have a +3 to repair, which is similar to my computer use, but
Better at fixing people than machines.
better at fixing people than machines, unless you're doing surgery on a torpedo. No, I think I'm going to stay where I am, and I'm going to use my computer use check to see if I can, get more of the systems online or, help out.
Sounds good. Go ahead and roll a computer use check for me.
All right. Let's see. Pull up my die. Here we go. 13 plus 3.
So 16. Okay, I'm gonna say
Probably not very useful.
it's not terribly useful, but you free up. Let's say you free up some processor space by like killing someone's web browser or something like that. You free up a little bit of processor, a little bit of memory. So whoever chooses to use it can gain an additional +1 on their next action. Which means we are at the top of the next round. Vicky, go ahead and make your pilot check for me.
All right. Also, I just want to point out that Lynn Jersey said this sounds like a Spirit Air landing.
Oh, ouch.
Well, hopefully they're not landing during a hurricane. That would be bad.
That's fair. It is.
Would you rather be flying during a hurricane?
So 14 plus 8, 22. I'm not going to use that extra from Matthew, I don't think.
You're not going to use them extra? Okay. A 22 is more than enough. You are flying steady. Well, as steady as you can while being buffeted by 100-mile-an-hour winds.
I'm a good pilot.
Woo!
So, yeah, the shuttle's relatively steady. You guys are still kind of being buffeted around in the cockpit, but at least you're not plummeting. All right. It is my turn. Oh. I don't want the same thing. I want to get us...
You got another 2. Else. Is this a D20 that you're rolling?
This is a percentile. So that is a straight up, whoops, wrong tab. That is a straight up 70%. So your shields have been taking the damage for you this entire time. However...
I would beg to differ if we lost a thruster, but okay.
However... a new alarm starts playing, and you notice the indicator for your shield status disappears.
Cool.
Your shields are no longer online.
Ah, damn it.
And the ship itself takes 1 point of damage.
How many... I can look this up.
I believe your shuttles have 40 HP.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to say 4 for a second.
No, I'm not going to give you something like that. That would be something like...
That'd be Leaf
literal,
as a ship.
Well, that would be a literal bicycle. All right. So
All right.
your shields are down.
Cool.
You find us a place to land, I'll deal with this.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
All right.
Hey Doc, you wanna help look for a place to land while I figure out what the hell's up with our shields?
Yes. Yeah, I'll take that on.
Okay. Who's rolling first?
I suppose.
Do we still have the +1 from my earlier, or is this
You
a
do.
new round? Okay, I was
You
gonna say,
do.
so Kyle, why don't you go first?
and use
Up that, like,
see
use
if
that.
we can get our shields back.
Right. See if you can get the shields back. Then I'll hit the landing area with scanners again.
Have you tried turning a dolphin on again?
It worked for your computer.
No comment.
It worked for your computer.
Yeah.
I might have drawn a pentagram, chanted a few rituals.
I mean, that's just standard procedure.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can figure out what's up with our shields.
All right.
Please do. I say as I'm trying to hold on. Addition.
That's 15.
15 in total with the +1 and the +2 from the computer.
And my +8 from my skill.
Oh, it was a bad roll, huh?
Well,
This is not a good roll.
well, sadly, the shields do not come back on. In fact, they start.
Do I know what's wrong with them now?
Nope, you have no idea. Your best guess is that something somewhere got fried. I mean, you can certainly try restarting them again, but right now it's looking more hardware than software.
Do I still have move this turn?
I mean, you could get up and move around the ship. I will say you probably, if the ship gets hit again or Kai loses control, there are going to be consequences to you moving around. Just saying.
When has Leaf ever cared about
I
consequences?
wouldn't worry about it. You're a leaf on the wind.
Literally in Potentia right now.
Turn your inertial armor on and then get up.
Leaf is going to, like, because I assume that we are kind of going down pretty fast at the moment, just because we're trying to make it in.
Yeah.
So Leaf's going to basically jump out of his seat and push off towards the back.
I don't think you guys are quite in free fall, but okay.
And just like kind of do like a big leaping jump out of his seat.
Kai's sitting there and is like, that
As he
is
just, like,
not.
As he just like slaps his tattoo.
Kai goes, the seatbelt sign is on. Where are you going?
And tries to go over to where our shield generators are and see if we can figure out what's wrong with them.
Sadly, that's in the very back of the shuttle.
Oh, boy.
So it takes you your entire turn to get back there. Between getting knocked to the side of the walls and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm gonna say that's your turn. Matthew, you were gonna use
Yeah,
sensors.
no, I'm gonna use the sensors and attempt to get some more detailed information about the landing site.
All right, go ahead and roll. Again, it's computer use, and potentially spot checks.
All right, we're gonna roll. Oh, we're gonna roll a 3 plus 3. So
It seems the computer's not giving you back what you gave to Leaf a minute ago. The computer says, "Oh, but Leaf still needs this," and is refusing to open up your tab again.
got it.
All right, Vicky,
Yeah.
it's your turn.
All right.
We
Also-
are on.
Oh, go ahead.
This is round 3. You're halfway there.
Yay. I just want to shout out Chai Latte Nebula has come by, said hello in chat. Confused me for a second because they said on this late autumn cold rainy day I'm here for cozying up to some space themed D&D, and I forgot that they are in the southern hemisphere, and I was like, is it autumn now?
No, they're just on the other side of the planet.
I was very confused for a minute. Okay. It's gonna be an 8 again, plus 8 plus 2, so that's 18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay. Even with the ship's modifier, it only gives you +1. So.
Oh wait, no, just kidding. Hold on. Wait. My pilot skill's 10. What am I thinking? It's 20.
Okay.
Sorry.
21. Okay, I was about to say some very, very not good things for Leaf, but okay. You maintain control of the shuttle again.
Barely.
Yeah, it started to get away from you for a second there. Alrighty.
This is round 3. We got 2 more rounds.
3 more rounds.
Oh, 3 more rounds.
Yes.
So many.
This, however, means I get to roll again, and you don't have shields. 97. Ooh.
You got a 2. Wait, I'm sorry. Back up. You got a 2 with 100 options?
Yup. And this is probably the worst one I could get right now because you got no shields. So you take. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. I think my dice was hitting things. You take 9 points of damage to the shuttle. An extra powerful lightning bolt hits the side of it, and Leaf, you're in the back of the shuttle. You just hear this it almost sounds like a gunshot against the side of the shuttlecraft. And you actually notice, because you're kind of in the cargo bay engineering section, there's now kind of a red spot
Oh, Jesus.
in the hull next in the wall right now. So the ship is down 25%, which means another thing potentially happens. Let me see. Kai, you start noticing that your instruments are winking on and off.
Sick. Love that.
Your pilot check is going to be a little more difficult next round.
Of course it will. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. That being said,
Quick question: does Leaf communicate to the rest of us that there is like a close to breach in the hull?
I mean, the shuttle has internal comms, so I would say you have the ability to communicate that if you want.
Yeah.
Or you could just shout it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not that far apart. I
No,
was just
right.
gonna yell.
Yeah.
We've got lightning burning through the hole.
Okay. Because I just want to make sure that our DM doesn't try to pull something later. I'm gonna order everyone to make sure that they have their full spacesuits on. If we didn't already, that is an established thing. We have our spacesuits on.
It takes time to don a spacesuit.
How long?
It can take, if you do it quickly, it can take like 3 or 4 rounds. If you're doing it properly, because quickly means you get the full advantage of the spacesuit. If you do it properly, it takes a full minute at least.
Okay, so Grant had. What you're saying is you've had plans to suffocate us all this whole time.
I guess
We're in the atmosphere now because we're getting buffeted around.
Yeah, we don't know what atmosphere this place has.
We were told it was
well, we
breathable.
scanned. It's breathable.
Okay.
Is there air? You don't know. Sorry.
Alright, well, I will not order anyone to put a spacesuit on. But I'll remember for next time.
Well, I just wear mine anyway if I'm not in my
Well,
room.
yeah, Matthew's, or Dr. Aronax is fine, because he always wears his.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
All
they're
right.
gonna die.
Okay, so Leaf or Matthew, who's going next?
I'm gonna try the computers again.
Okay.
See if they're working still. All
All
right,
right.
roll 14 plus my 3 computer use, so 17.
All right, you are able to reboot the system on your console, and you have access to these sensors again. And you actually managed to capture a pretty decent image. You are a lot closer to this facility now, and you're actually seeing it at a slightly different angle, which means I'm not going to force you to make this spot check this time, because from orbit it's harder to see. You actually do see what looks like some sort of communications dish on top of it, and it seems to be blinking. So it might actually still have power. You could potentially communicate with that and see if there are any other landing options.
That's not a bad idea.
Make a mayday call to the people who made a mayday call to us.
Okay.
Hey, we're trying to rescue you. Where do you want us to land?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that the ship probably has a pre-constructed distress call put together that allows you to record something on top of that. So yeah, while being buffeted by the storm, you put that together and start broadcasting. You don't get any response immediately.
Excellent. My call is mayday, mayday. We're responding to an emergency call, looking for instructions for landing.
Okay.
Quickly. Kai adds. Quickly.
All right, Leaf, what are you doing back in that cargo bay engineering area?
First thing, looking to see what the damage is. Is there anything obviously wrong here that's fixable?
Well, the first thing you notice is that the engine core seems to be running pretty hot right now. It looks like Kai's having to draw just about every ounce of power this thing can give. You also notice that the circuitry you think is the shield generator is still kind of sparking and hissing, and there's a little bit of what smells like electrical smoke coming out of it.
Would you describe what's happening here as fire?
No, I would not describe it as fire.
That's why he didn't say fire.
You see no flames. If it was on fire, you suspect you'd have a bigger problem.
Well, there is that.
Don't start a fire on my ship. Don't
Yeah,
do it.
fire in a spaceship, no bueno.
Not usually.
I mean,
Do you have any robot repair patches on you?
Does that work?
actually, yes.
This is technically technology.
I do have a robot repair patch on me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slap it on there.
I'm pulling out a robot repair patch and slamming it on the shield generator.
Okay. Whichever repair patch you're using, go ahead and roll the repair amount.
It's a class 1. Do you
Class
happen
1?
to know the stats of that
It's-
off the top of your head?
Yeah, I do. It's 1d8 plus 1.
Okay. 6.
6. Okay, it stops sparking. The smoke goes away, and Kai, in the cockpit, you notice the shields don't come on completely, but they start charging back up.
Yay!
And per round, let me just pull up the stats again really quick, because I think it's a per round recharge on these shields. And I don't remember exactly what it is. They all have the same. Where'd it go? Shields, shields, shields. Okay, so you get 6 shield points back out of 40. And technically you have 10. The way shields work in this, they work in quadrants. You've got port, starboard, fore, aft. So
Okay. So how many? So how
Actually-
hurt the ship? How?
the ship,
How,
Is it
yeah, how
still
much
at
damage
30?
is the ship?
yeah, the ship has 30 hit points left.
Okay, but the
reason
shields have an extra.
Yeah, the shields provide a buffer zone. They absorb some damage for you.
Okay.
It's why the first couple of lightning strikes didn't actually do damage to your ship.
Okay.
And also the reason I did an extra roll and started having your instruments malfunction is when for every 25% you go down in ship integrity, something special goes wrong with the ship, which is another D percentile roll. And in your case, it was sensors. So, Nikki,
Yes.
it's your turn.
All right.
You're going to be rolling a pilot check, only this time you're piloting more or less blind because you're not sure you can trust your sensors.
Okay.
So you're going to roll at a disadvantage.
Oh,
So roll twice and take the lower number.
sick. I don't think I have to roll again because the first one was 2. So plus 10 is 12. Plus the
Plus-
computer use of 2 is 14, which is still
Plus-
much better than a 2.
Yep. And
But-
even with the +1 from the ship.
Oh yeah,
It's-
15.
Yeah. Yeah. You lose control of the ship.
Cool.
And luckily for you and the dock, you're fine. You're strapped in. Leaf.
The
I need
seatbelt
you to-
sign is on.
Leaf, I need you to make a reflex save for me.
Oh no.
One moment.
Leaf has some dexterity. You might be fine.
Leaf has a shockingly high dexterity, actually.
And a shockingly low hit point. Oh, no.
Well, there is that.
I can say what he would roll for damage wouldn't outright kill him. It would not feel good though.
Let's just go with I didn't save.
What did you roll?
What?
8.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. Leaf, all of a sudden, the floor seems to disappear from underneath you. And you just start kind of ping-ponging your way around the back of the cargo shuttle. And you take 6 points of damage. You hit some...
How many hit points do you have, Leaf? Like total?
7?
Oh, sick. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Leaf, you're not feeling great. Okay.
I think Kai's gonna hear it bounce
Yes.
around and just be like, "You need to come back! A seatbelt sign is still on!"
Mm-hmm. So, that being said, even though,
So is
Even
this
though
falling type damage, or is this damage from the walls hitting me?
this is damage from the walls hitting you. Hang on, what are you doing here?
Because I'm currently wearing inertial armor.
Inertial armor provides an armor class bonus.
Yes, it does.
Okay, I'll grant
Hence
you.
the question about things hitting me versus me falling onto them.
Okay, I will cut 2 damage off of that. You only took 4 damage. I will give you that. You're
When
still
Jersey
below
said-
half health.
Jersey said we need a doctor. Is there one in the house? That's why I'm telling Leaf to come back to the cockpit. And Aronax can handle that.
Just stab him with a stim pack. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so Matthew and Kyle, it's up to you two who goes first.
I'm going to immediately work my way back to the cockpit.
Okay. It's not that easy because technically you count as prone, so it's your move action just to stand up right now. So you could stand up and hold on for dear life until the shuttle regains some semblance of order.
That sounds like a good start.
And if you're holding on for dear life, you're not going to have to make a reflex save.
I like this plan.
Okay. All right, so you stand up, you find a convenient railing nearby. Luckily, it's not to eject the warp core. And you're safe for the time being.
Woo.
Grant, real quick, you have not played Outer Wilds?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
I think
I
Chai
quickly,
Latte Nebula has, and they're lurking, but
Yeah.
that's a warp core thing. Anyway, it's fine.
Well, I quickly look over my shoulder to see if there's. I assume that Leaf is beyond my reach
At the moment, yes.
Considerably.
at the back. All right. Well, then I'm. Since there's not much I can do, I'm going to. I'm going to see if I can't boost the signal on our Mayday and transmit again.
Okay. That's a fairly simple task. It just requires hitting a couple of dials. So I'm going to just say you do that. You have another action if you want to take it. If you wanted to,
And I'll
you've
see if I can
obviously
divert
noticed-
any power to the shields.
Okay. All right,
Or
go
not
ahead.
divert, but I'll see if I can't boost the power to the shields.
Get them to regenerate a little faster.
Right.
Yeah, we can do that. Go for
All
it. Go ahead and
right,
roll.
4 plus 3. That's not very useful.
These dice
You-
rolls today.
I know,
can-
man.
You also get
You
your
can-
+2 because I didn't use it.
True. Still not quite enough, sadly. So you can confirm that the shields are recharging normally, and you will get more hit points next time. All right. Kai, your sensors stop fritzing out for the time being. You are able to roll normally. Go ahead and roll your pilot check.
Also, I'm gonna keep doing it when my turn comes up, saying hi to people in chat. Hi, Vulcan Rider, how you doing? Oh, you know someone who's doing a D&D version of Outer Wilds? That's amazing.
Ooh,
Anyway,
that is cool.
It's a little better than some of my. You said no disadvantage anymore, right?
Correct.
Great. 22.
22.
Yeah.
You regain control of the ship.
Yay!
And you know you will be there.
Oh.
Whoops, wrong button. You know you will be there shortly. It's another 2 rounds, and you will potentially be able to land the ship. So, yay! You've got control again.
Woo!
Leaf and Doc, you both notice that the ship stops violently spinning out of control.
Which is always good.
All right. So who's gonna go first between the two of you?
Well, I need you to heal me when I get there. So.
Indeed. Well, like I said, I'm gonna reach my hand and see if I can't help you back to your seat.
Okay. Well, between the two of you, Leaf makes it back to his seat. And that's just your move action. So Leaf, if you want to take another action to do something with the computer, you are welcome to.
Yeah, I'm gonna check and see if we've received a response.
You have not.
Which I assume is just, is there a blinking light?
Yeah, there's no sign of any response from this place. If anything, you're getting an automated response from the system's computer, and it seems to be asking you if you want to do something. Bessie hasn't finished fully translating that message yet, but it's asking you if you want to do something. Is Leaf about to press buttons?
Yes. Hey, Bessie, just do what I would do.
Typed out on your screen in front of you. You mean something reckless and potentially damaging to the entire endeavor?
Yes.
Sure, I can do that. All right, you start noticing that Bessie's just sending out a whole bunch of yes packets.
Yes, 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 yes.
As fast as your computer can produce them. So there are like a couple billion of yes packets going out right now. All right, Matthew.
I am gonna try again to see if I can't boost power to the shields. I'm gonna try another computer check here.
Could you patch me up at some point?
Oh, geez, I'm sorry.
Also, I just want to be sure, did Leaf buckle himself back in?
Yes.
Please.
Okay, good.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
I thought that was
I'm
implied and made it back to the seat,
yes, no,
but yes.
I'm gonna grab a stim pack and
Stab him.
from my suit, like I've got a few of them just in my pockets, so I'm gonna grab one and.
All right, you just Dr. McCoy, Leaf in the neck, just stab.
In the neck. Oh,
God.
are these needles, or is this
Yes.
like a? Is this one of those?
They're
One of
needles.
those
It's not a hypo spray, sadly.
hypo spray thing. Oh,
You're not that advanced. You just stab Leaf.
Jesus.
All right, go ahead and roll. If it's a class 1, go ahead and roll 1d8 plus 1 for your healing.
Are you rolling that or am I?
I'm rolling it. I got a 6 and 6 plus 1.
Nice.
All right, and stim packs do overcharge health for an hour. So Leaf, any beyond your normal hit points you get temporary hit points for an hour.
Probably feel like you've been hit with a packet of adrenaline.
Yeah,
I think
Leaf,
that's more or less what you just did.
Right.
Yeah, Leaf, you're feeling great now. Bruises? What bruises? Broken rib? Who cares?
Those things have literally brought us back from the dead. They're pretty magic.
Mm-hmm. Space magic. It's great. Okay. Kai,
Yes.
it's your turn.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your pilot check.
Okay. God, what the... I bought these dice because I was so excited to have a pretty set, like full pretty set of dice, and they're betraying me. I got a 4 plus 13. But like, Jesus Christ, that's a 17. What the hell?
Okay.
God.
Hang on, I need to switch windows really quick. See
They're
what I'm
the
doing.
Adventure Zone dice, and they're betraying me. The Bureau is betraying me.
Another bolt of lightning hits the shuttle, and as you lose control, you notice the main engines flare out.
Cool.
So now instead of progressing forward, you are dropping. With a little bit of forward velocity. You do have wings, technically.
Falling with style, one might say.
One might say, yes, you are falling with style. You can fall with style for 2 rounds before you're in real trouble.
Cool. Also, Vulcan Rider just asked a question, and for anybody who's new here, it's a good question to ask. So these are not swords and sorcery characters, but advanced characters consistent with space travelers. We are playing a modern version. So, like, my class is pilot. Dr. Aronax is doctor, and Leaf is psionic adept, which is kind of like magic. It's like space magic. So that's the closest to like sorcery. It's from the modern system.
Yeah, this is a heavily homebrewed system. It's got a bit of D20 Modern, it's got a bit of 3.5, 5th edition, it's got Pathfinder, it's got Starfinder. It's I just took my favorite parts of all of those and mushed them together into one. So
and some crazy magic sauce holding it all together. Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah.
Maybe a few pentagrams and curses and
for the rest of
runes.
Grant put together a 400-page player's handbook.
It's extremely impressive.
Thank you. Okay.
You may continue now.
Yes. So, Leaf and Doc, you are both you're becoming uncomfortably familiar with what it feels like when a shuttle loses all control.
Sorry.
Luckily, you both are strapped in, so you can still perform actions while you're doing this. One of which could be restarting the main engines, perhaps?
Yeah. Yeah, hey Doc, you want to help me with this? Here, press this button for me.
You want me to hold it down?
Just hold it down and
Or
don't
just
let go.
press it over and over and over again.
Okay, well, seeing as it's 2 of you working on this, I'm going to give whoever's doing the main check advantage on this. Seeing as
Is this still
you're
computer
both,
use?
This is still computer
Then
use.
definitely me.
So you're both just madly working on your various consoles, just trying to figure out how to get this to work. Nice. Okay, that definitely grants the advantage.
Finally.
It's good that you did that.
But the button is really, really well pushed. Very competently pressed.
23.
23?
Yeah.
Okay, Kai, all of a sudden, the engines just turn on and they go full blast.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, you're all thrown backwards into your seats. Well, I think Kai and Leaf are, because I think you two are the front seats. The Doc is in engineering position, so Doc, you're kind of just thrown sideways to a certain extent. Go ahead and make your pilot check, Kai.
Okay. Also,
This should be your landing throw, right? Or is this the second to the last one?
I'm going to say, because the thrusters were just suddenly shoved all the way forward, this is your last roll in the storm. However, you still need to land.
We still have to pick where we're landing too, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
I don't know that we have much choice.
Yeah.
We
We determined.
We may be lucky to not land in the water.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Trilatte Nebula really likes your background, Matthew.
Oh, thank you.
The Matrix.
It's kind of cold here in the Matrix.
You know what it is? It's that I'm rolling on something that is quieter than just rolling straight on my desk. So now you guys all get to hear dice noises, because I did get a better roll. It's a 13 plus...
plus all of that.
Everything's 26, right? I think.
Okay. You take full control of the shuttle and pull up, just skimming the water. In fact, in your rear view camera, you just see this jet of water coming up behind the shuttle as you pull back up. You also...
That was kind of cool, right? That was kind of cool.
You are also
Down
below the storm, which means you are still vulnerable to lightning, which means... What did I just roll? Your sensors go out again. You're going to have trouble with any computerized spot checks you take in the next round. However, I am going to have all of you make just a standard spot check for me really quick.
Is that a D20?
Yep, it's a D20.
What's the visibility outside? Like, what's like? Is it? I mean, is it
The visibility is not great. There are literal sheets of rain.
I don't
tell
see
you.
anything. I have a 1.
It's great for me because I got a nat 20.
Okay.
So
Well,
Dr. Arnax
16.
can't see anything. I can see everything.
I'm going to say the doc is probably just a little stunned about how quickly this went from absolutely horrible to Kai saves the day. So that might be what's going on with the doc. Kai, you notice as you're approaching the facility at high speed that another platform appears to have deployed itself from one of the modules.
Oh.
It is a small landing pad, but it is a landing pad that hasn't been blown to pieces.
Yeah, I'll
So-
take that.
All right. Go ahead and, unless anyone wants to make any other checks, I'm going to have Kai make her landing roll.
Does Bessie have anything to say?
Bessie sends a message that simply says, "Looks like yes worked."
All right,
Bessie
everybody.
says go for it.
Okay, everybody, hold on. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Dice did hear me complaining. 17, which means 30.
Nice. You, in spite of the wind, in spite of the, sheets of rain and everything, you bring the shuttle in for a surprisingly gentle landing. And you power down the engines. Everything seems perfectly fine.
Cool.
What you do notice, however, when you look outside the window, this does not look like a very well taken care of facility. Even just looking out the windows of the shuttle, you can see there's grime on it. It looks like it's been rained on and had surf wash all over it for years, and no one's cleaned it.
Well, I'm gonna say, I mean, I don't know whether the is there any way to tell if can I use the scanners to see if I can detect whether I can find any life signs on the platform or in the near vicinity. I'm trying to. I want to find out if that was an automated, if the platform was deployed automatically or
Or if
whether
a person
there's
actually got the call, kind of thing.
somebody around.
Well,
Sure,
you're doing
yeah,
that.
you
I'm gonna
definitely
go put
can
on a
do that.
spacesuit.
All right.
Also-
Leaf goes and puts on a spacesuit.
I'm also gonna go put on a spacesuit
Okay.
because
The-
we're docked, right?
Yeah, the air
Cars
is
off?
breathable. Yes. The air is breathable.
We're on a water world. If we get kicked off any sort of platform, we drown. I mean,
Is this a bad time
I can
to point
swim,
out
but
that
like
Leaf basically can't swim?
I can swim.
Good to know.
Leaf has -2 to swim checks.
I can
Oh,
swim
no.
well enough for both of us.
All right, Matthew, go ahead and make a computer use check for me to use those sensors.
All right, roll. Got a 1. Jeez.
Instead of activating the sensors, you accidentally click the shutdown
All on them.
button. No, you just shut them down. All right.
Oops.
I like to think that Bessie's just like, why did it get so dark in here?
Mm-hmm.
Who turned out the lights?
Pretty much.
Lynn
All right.
said you need a pool floaty, Leaf.
There were
did we
pool
bring that?
floaties.
There
I
were.
was
Did we
meaning I
bring
was
any?
meaning to ask you about that in between sessions. If we could retcon having brought just like a cargo hold half full of pool floaties.
Not half full. I will say that let's just say Engineer Quarren left you a couple, just in case you'd need them.
The little
All right, so-
armaments.
She left you a variety.
I called
Okay.
the pink one.
All right, so the Doc is, of course, in his spacesuit. Do you guys get fully geared up in your spacesuits, or do you just have them on, ready to go, and helmet ready in your arm or something like that?
Yeah, I think that's.
Is the like heads-up display part integrated into the helmet, or is it a separate component?
It's integrated into the helmet.
Then I'm wearing that.
Okay.
I'm not
so-
wearing the helmet.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so you exit the ship.
Cool. Is it
Hi.
raining?
And I would just
Oh,
like to
it's-
point out, I would just like to make very clear, I disconnect Bessie from the, like
You
but
put Bessie in the
Bessie
heads
is in its usual carrying pouch,
Okay.
tied into my life support systems as usual.
All right. And you're running your life support systems just to keep warm and stuff like that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, like not isolating from the environment, but just,
Okay.
well, actually, yes.
So you're going full environmental suit. Okay. Good to know. So you step out of the shuttle, and it is cold. It is rainy. These are huge raindrops that are hitting you as you're stepping out of there, and it smells like the ocean. It's cold, wet, very windy, and there's the constant sound of thunder and lightning all around you. There is a hatch on the side of the module ahead of you, and it looks like it's functioning, sort of.
Um, Also, sorry, have we already left the ship?
I'm assuming you have
Oh, I said
at this point.
Yeah, Leaf's gonna go back then and make sure that the sensors are on.
Okay.
And that our wireless link to the ship is actually working.
Okay. Yeah, you run back onto the ship. Do the other two of you wait for him, or do you start going into the facility?
I think Kai's just
I'm gonna
like
see
hanging
if
out
we
and
can-
enjoying the rain.
Well, I'm going to see if I can open the door. I mean, I'm not going to go in yet, but I'm going to at least walk up to the door or the hatch and see if it's,
Okay.
accessible.
When not flying, Kai is vibing with this weather. I'm
Okay,
just chilling.
cool.
I'm like, yes, rain.
Okay, cool.
We've been on a ship for years.
Mm-hmm. And then on a dust storm planet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Doc, when you walk up to the door, you have the after mission reports from when this crew visited another planet and got to see alien technology. So you have a general idea how this door works. Currently, it seems to be blinking yellow on the control panel, which last you checked is actually the equivalent of a green light. So it looks like it is functioning properly, although it seems a little dim and kind of flickers.
I'm going to turn to the rest of them and to the other two and say, should we head in and look for others? Or, I mean, I guess the other thing is I want to know, like, is there a way to scan for light? Like, how well do our sensors penetrate the water? I mean, can I look for life under the ocean?
You
Like, is
picked up signs of a great deal of biomass beneath the water. And that was on your approach to the planet. There were several large heat signatures kind of in and around the facility underwater. But the one thing you were able to tell was your sensors had a lot of trouble penetrating the walls of this facility.
And well, because when we had established that they're the same material Ash was made out of, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that did all sorts of stuff to your sensors.
Can Bessie detect any kind of presence similar to Ash? And actually, more to the point, is there a psionic presence like what we found near Ash?
You don't detect, and this is kind of... Actually, I'm going to have you roll a Psycraft check for that. I was about to give it to you for free, but I want you to roll things.
That's a terrible roll.
That good.
But yeah, that's only a 12.
You can't really detect anything beside your crewmates.
Then I ask Bessie, I guess.
All right. At this point, you've kind of checked the ship's sensors. You reboot them. So the ship's sensors reboot. You're getting pretty much normal readings. And you also note that the ship's quantum comms are functioning properly, and you can connect to them no problem. Now, Bessie thinks for a moment and then returns a report saying that the facility's automated systems appear to be running properly. However, no AI is detected. So certainly nothing of Esh's ability.
Well, it seems like we should go see if we can find the source of the distress call. Which I mean, have we been able to determine that this is where it's being transmitted from? I mean,
oh yeah, Oh yeah.
All right, so we should probably find the source of the distress call,
Yeah, let's go.
and then and then barring that, I think we should head for the water and see if we can look around for the inhabitants of the planet, because they're probably not living on this tiny platform.
Let's get inside first.
Yeah. So I'm going to
All
open
right.
the door.
Before one of us gets struck by lightning.
I locked the ship. Beep, beep.
Okay. The ship is locked.
Platform
The
closes.
platform closes behind you, and you go inside. Kai, make a fortitude save for me.
Oh, Jesus. Fortitude, is that just a stat? Oh, no, that's a, you said save.
It's one of your saves.
Hold on. I have a +1. 11.
Okay. So you find yourself in a corridor that then opens up to a small lobby. There are staircases on either side and a series of doors. And it kind of reminds Kai and Leaf, it reminds the two of you of the dormitories you remember seeing on Planet Mud Pit. And a quick exploration, I'm assuming you guys kind of peek your heads into some of these doorways, shows that they're very much the same. It's a similar sort of setup. Almost every room on the upper level is water damaged. It looks like the ceiling has decayed over time. However, on the lower floor, they seem to be fairly intact, although not receiving much in the way of power.
Are there any, I don't know if this would be a spot check thing that we'd have to do, but are there any things that like differentiate the rooms from each other, or do they look like no one lives in them?
They look like they currently have no occupants. However, things that differentiate them, there are what look like personal artifacts, maybe on shelves or counters. If you want to do just a general search check of this module, you could probably find some stuff.
I don't want to steal anybody's things. I just kind of wanted to know, like, can you tell that, like, somebody was here today? Or, like, I know that the upper ones are water damaged, so probably not those, but, like...
It does not look like anybody's been here in a long time.
Okay.
And, how thoroughly would you say you check these rooms out, out of curiosity?
Would you like me to roll?
I mean, it
Is that
it
for all of
depends.
us?
If you want to do a search check, you can each roll search checks.
Why not?
Okay.
But you said it looked like nobody'd been here for quite a while.
Correct. It looks like things have been undisturbed for quite a while.
I mean, I think Kai wants to... Like, Kai would do a search check to make, like, to figure out if, like... Has it been a year? Has it been, like, 100 years? Has it been, like, a week? 17 plus 2, 19.
19? Okay. Well, you find pretty much everything here has just a thick layer of dust on it. You find some artifacts that might be of use to study if you wanted to collect them. For example, there is a blue and white stone, blue stone with white veining that has what appears to be lines of verse carved into it. If you collect that, you might be able to get something for it. Second, while you are searching, you come across a pile of bones in one of the far back rooms on the second story. They're kind of
Human-shaped bones? Or human variant-shaped bones?
they don't look human.
Cool.
You recognize them as some sort of creature that you think would probably be about your size, but beyond that, you have no idea what these things are. You recognize maybe some basic shapes of limb bones and maybe ribs, but that's it.
Okay. Interesting.
My
I mean,
search check turned up a 16 plus 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you find about the same things. In fact, Doc, you are probably there when Kai makes this discovery. I don't know what Kai's response would be to finding just a pile of bones somewhere.
Not hype. Not excited.
So you probably just hear a from down the hall, and upon investigating, you actually find. I mean, at first glance, you recognize these as definitely alien of some kind. If you want to roll a knowledge, earth, and life sciences, or even knowledge xenology, you would be able to tell more about them.
Yep. So 11 plus 5, So a 16 for my knowledge, earth, and life sciences.
Okay. What this thing appears to be, and it takes you about 30 minutes to kind of observe the skeleton, take some scans, and start reconstructing it a little bit. It looks roughly like what you've seen depicted of the seemingly dominant species from the coalition of Alok. They're roughly human size. They have 3 legs, 2 arms, and a very large skull. And what you have here is roughly that.
How many eyes did you say?
I believe they've got 3 eyes.
3 legs, 3 eyes.
3 legs, 3 eyes.
Extra eyes.
Excellent. Well, I'll explain to them, what we found. So, this appears to be, a member of this species. I wonder what they're doing here.
Is this like
is this a norm? I mean, it seems like it's a little out of their territory.
Can you tell if it's like fresh or old? Can you tell about?
I mean,
bones?
if it's just bones, then
I mean, I guess
they've been here for a
pretty
while.
Old. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably have you guys roll an investigate check on that specifically, but because you don't know the environment or the what's the word I'm looking for, what's specific to this biome that handles decomposition, you wouldn't be able to tell exactly how long these had been around.
Okay, that's fine. Quick thing, Vulcan Rider had a quick question. The psionic skill, going back to Leaf's skills, have you ever played something called Babylon 5?
Oh, the series.
Or
I've heard a lot about Babylon 5. Typically when I'm considering psionic power, I tend to draw from universes like StarCraft.
Got it. So it's more like a controlling, like a
it's
telekinetic.
Yeah, your best doctorly description of it is you'd probably understand a little bit about it. Is that somehow, somewhere along the evolution of humanity, someone developed the ability with their mind to quantumly manipulate things. And that's the best explanation humanity has. Nobody has any real way of defending against psionic power except with another psionic. You have, besides having a psionic around you, you don't really even have a way of detecting it.
Cool.
Got it.
Thank you. Just wanted
Although
to.
Leaf is going to write a paper on that someday.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
Also, I did stick the landing.
Is there any technology? I mean, where's the transmitter for this facility?
These seem like dormitories, so they only have what seem to be vacant stasis pods, and a sort of 3D printer advanced device. Anyone who knows Star Trek would call it a replicator. And that's, aside from light controls and atmospheric controls, that's pretty much it.
Oh,
Matthew,
that reminds me.
we explored the replicator things last time. That's where the goo for that Leaf brought came from.
Yeah. Does Leaf press any buttons?
Leaf is going to, because you said they took like half an hour to do stuff.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, so Leaf's going to initially ask Bessie to connect to the ship's systems and run a more thorough scan
Okay.
of this facility.
In that time, Bessie's able to run a more thorough scan, and actually what Bessie does is link with your suit's sensors. They're not great, but you have a couple built in, and they're starting to essentially build a 3D model of this facility, so you can review it later and have a map.
Cool.
But as far as life signs go, beyond the module you're in, you're not really picking up anything.
And while Bessie's doing that, I'm going to go poke at the replicator.
Okay. That is a Wow. Okay. You managed to poke at one of the replicators on the lower floor, one that seems to still have a little bit of power, and after about like 50 tries, because I'm willing to bet Leaf got a little bored at some point, it sputters to life, and with a flash of light creates something. You're not sure what it is. It looks like a pyramid on top of another pyramid with another pyramid sticking out the side. It's weird. But it's made out of a kind of funny looking bright yellow material that when you touch it is oddly warm to the touch.
You said a pyramid with another pyramid and a pyramid sticking out the side?
Yeah.
Like this?
You have no idea what this device may have been used for. For all you know, it's just like maybe a strange massage instrument or an odd hand warmer. You have no idea.
How big is it?
It's big enough where you need both hands to really kind of manipulate it.
I mean, how heavy is it when I'm like holding it? Because yes, obviously I pick it up.
I'd say about 3 kilos.
Okay. Are there any whirly doodad things that I can move on it? Does it
Nope.
react at all to my touch?
Nope. If anything, you feel like it's humming.
Does it react to a psionic kind of poke?
Roll Psycraft for me.
Hold on, I need to find my plus. That's not a great roll either. That's only a 15.
I mean, with a 15, you notice that the humming maybe becomes a little more powerful. And it maybe warms up a little bit more.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna carry it around with me.
Okay, you take this mysterious device and shove it in your backpack.
All right. I think Kai's gonna head down the hallway to wherever these dormitories end.
All right.
You're writing down what treasure Kyle has procured, what Leaf has procured.
Yep.
I also just remembered that I have the multi-tool. Totally forgot about that. Haven't found a way to use it yet, but...
Well, actually, you find that the door is not opening into the rest of the facility.
Excellent. Like, I can't, like, I'm trying to push it and it won't open?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Even the control panel, it's glowing yellow, but you press it and it goes beep, beep. It's not behaving.
Okay. I think I'm just gonna try to like
fix it before we melt it.
No. You asked me that in real life, okay? I'm getting the multi-tool ready. You see me. And you go, can we try to fix it? No.
All right.
I was gonna pull out a robot repair patch and offer it to you.
Let me do this.
Kai pulls out the multi-tool.
Can we not use the setting that burns a hole through like half the planet?
No, there's like a welding setting.
Okay.
It's fine. Would that work?
Yes.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
think of this as being kind of a Star Trek The Next Generation phaser plus. It's got more in addition to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you set it to a cutting mode, and after about 5 minutes, you cut a nice hole out of the door that everyone can easily step through.
Hell yeah. I do
He
the
slaps
little like
his hand on the control panel before he walks through the door.
Meet. All right, so stepping through the door, you find yourselves in what appears to be a central atrium. It's a single round room, and it looks like it used to have clear skylights. However, they appear to be covered in grime and algae. You also hear the sound of the rain just pattering overhead. At its center is a cylinder that you suspect contains an elevator of some kind. And while there used to be signs, it seems none of them have power and are blank and dark. A common area sits next to the hatch leading to the destroyed landing pad, and 5 other doors lead elsewhere in the facility. You've come out of one of those 5.
Okay.
Well, we don't have to mark that door.
Do we? Yeah, no, I handled that. Do we? I don't
One
know.
with a hole in it.
You guys wanna? Are we doing the Scooby-Doo split up kind of thing? Are we gonna
I mean, it
Uh,
seems.
Should we go?
Leaf just
seems-
looks at you. Remember the last time we split up?
Okay, that's fair. But like, there's 5 doors.
No, I think we should each take a door.
Okay.
I mean,
If
the place seems to the place seems to
Yeah,
be
fine.
mostly
Who wants to
deserted.
live forever?
That's the spirit.
All right. So there's a door to the north, a door to the west, and then 2 doors in between them.
Door to the north, door to the west, 2 in between.
And where did we come from?
You came
Behind
from the
us.
south.
Okay. I'll take the north door.
Okay.
I'm gonna flip
Oh.
on my flashlight too. So
Okay.
Oh yeah,
see
what's the lighting situation in here like?
dark.
It's fairly dark. Think a room with very dirty windows on a dark and stormy day.
Okay, I mean,
So
do we have
it's-
like headlights on our helmets?
Yes,
Okay.
your suits come equipped with headlights. All
I
right,
have one
so-
on my multi-tool. so I'm
Question
using
for you,
that
Grant.
one.
Since
Yes.
there is an atmosphere,
Mhm.
I assume my suit can replenish itself from that.
If you wanted to, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
have a quick... Oh, go ahead.
you activate the replenishment system, and I need you to roll a fortitude save for me.
Okay, I was gonna ask about that.
Not good. 6.
Okay. Good to know.
I don't like when Grant does that.
All right. So, Kai, you go to the north door, and you find it's slightly ajar. In fact, it's slightly ajar in a way where it looks like it got forced open. The bottom part seems to be slightly more open than the top, so you can get in through it, but you kind of have to duck and crawl through to an extent.
Okay, yeah, I do that.
All right. As you do, the sound of waves and ocean becomes a lot more obvious, and you find yourself on a platform overlooking a control center of some sort. There are consoles of all kinds, some even flicker with the remnants of the facility's power, and a wide facade of windows covers the front of the room. Some of them are broken, and briny seawater is washing in. The rest are covered in slime, grime, and seaweed.
Also, really quick, we just got a new follower, and they just subscribed. Your username is difficult to pronounce, but Yig. Thank you so much for following. Welcome to Teach Astronomy family, and thank you so much for subscribing. So nice of you. Anyway, is this okay? So back to this. Is the platform? I'm still inside.
Yeah, you're still inside. This used to be a completely enclosed room. However, some of the windows are broken.
Oh, okay. Cool.
You do know. Do you step farther into the room, or are you just kind of standing at the doorway?
Can I do a little looky-loo before I step farther into the room?
Yeah, next to the railings over of the platform overlooking the consoles, you notice what you would recognize as almost pigeon droppings, just on the floor next to them.
Oh.
So it looks like critters have perched there on occasion for long periods of time. You don't see anything right now.
Okay. I think I'll walk in.
All
See
right.
what's up.
All right, as you descend from the platform, you actually notice that underneath this platform is a hallway and potentially a couple of offices, so you can check those out. You also have access to the consoles.
I'm gonna look at the consoles, I think.
Okay. You don't have Bessie with you right now, so you have no way of translating them. You have a general idea of what the computer system is, so you could try kind of finding a way to access a map of some kind, maybe.
There's nothing on the multi-tool that would help me, right? Because I know I have some hologram thing.
It's good for projecting. It's not terribly good for translating stuff, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the reminder, Lynn Jersey.
Hydrate. Okay.
Well, while Kai is deciding
Yeah,
what to
you
do
can switch to one of them.
in that room, Matthew and Kyle, what are you two up to?
I'm going through one of the other doors.
Okay. The west door appears to be welded shut. There's just a thick line all around it. So someone sealed it with extreme prejudice at one point. The other two doors lead to what seems to be a small closet. Let me... Hang on. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Ah! Oh, come on. Where'd I put it? This is one of the problems with writing up everything. Sometimes you get lost in your own work. Okay, one seems to be a small closet, and you find a couple of like spare tools in there. All of them fairly corroded, but who knows, if you collect them, you might be able to study them at a later date. And the other one seems to be maintenance access. You hear the slight hum of power running through it, and it's very dimly lit by blue lighting.
All right, and what were the corroded items?
Just a collection of alien tools. Not necessarily useful right now, unless you know how to use them, but they might be worth study. So if you...
I'll stick them in my pockets.
Okay, that's going to be about 1 kilogram of tools. Not much.
And I'm going to go down the maintenance hatch. And I'm going to shoot Kai a message through our comm system, letting Kai know that I'm going down the maintenance hatch to see if I can get us more power.
Got really concerned that you were going to stop at shoot Kai.
I only do that when you're already in trouble.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, it's a bit of a squeeze, especially in a spacesuit, but you do manage to get in there. You suspect with Bessie's help, you can probably translate some of what's going on there. If you want to roll a repair check.
Can I check to see what this is first?
Sure.
Or is that
If
the repair check?
With a knowledge technology check, you'd be able to do that.
That would be a 26.
26? Okay, yeah. This is definitely the power relay for the entire facility. You also have what appears to be atmosphere controls as well, atmospheric systems in here. This is just generally a lot of the parts that would need replacement or regular maintenance. Some of the parts appear to have shorted out, but the majority of them just seem to not be receiving power right now. You do not, however, see anything in here that would allow you to increase the amount of power. You could maybe divert it, but you can't increase the amount of power the facility's receiving. That seems to be handled elsewhere.
The things that are shorted don't look deliberately sabotaged, just kind of blown out.
Yeah, they look like old age got to them.
Do any of them look like things I could fix?
You don't have the spare parts necessarily. If you went back to the shuttle, you might be able to scavenge some of the spare parts containers for stuff that might work.
I'll make a note of what stuff is like. I take pictures with my helmet or whatever. Take notes of like which things need replacing.
Sounds good.
And then take my best guess as to whether or not re-energizing this is going to be problematic.
Oh, without repairs, yes. It will be very problematic to bring this back online.
I am going to go back up and go try and get spare parts from the ship.
Okay. Say about 15 minutes have passed. All right, Kai. You're still in that admin space. What are you gonna do?
I think so sorry, I was making a dice tower, I was being bad. So I think so the console is like working. It's not that it's broken.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I'll just, because I know that I can't read it anyway, I'm gonna just wait.
Okay.
For now, I'll call Leaf in a little bit, but I'm gonna go down to those. So there were some admin offices or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head down there, check that stuff out.
Okay. Go ahead and make a DC. Go ahead and make a search check for me. I don't need to tell you what the difficulty class. That's for me only.
19, and I think my search is 2. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so 21.
All right. You pretty much give these offices a little bit more than a once over, and you find in just a little cubby in one of the pieces of office furniture a little device that looks like it would go around someone's wrist. It appears to be a computer of some kind. You're not entirely sure what though.
It's an Apple Watch. Sorry. Sorry.
Currently,
Did somebody say computer?
it currently doesn't seem to have any power, or at least when you press a couple of the buttons and tap the screen, it does not respond at all.
Okay. I'll pocket it.
Okay.
See what Leaf can do with it later.
All right. I will say that is one of your research opportunities for this mission,
Oh,
if you want to develop it.
cool.
All right.
Apple Watch would be a
you
really
also,
It would.
yeah, it kind of would. That being said, you also notice in the larger of the two offices, there seems to be a computer console, and it's way more technically advanced than anything you've seen before. But you do notice that there are some similarities. It's just taken a bit of a beating. So you think if you rewire a thing or two here and there, you might be able to get it to boot back up.
I'm a gearhead. I'll give it a try.
All right, roll a repair check.
All right. The dice is left. I'm sorry. You're gonna need to give me a second.
They flee for the hills.
The roll wasn't too bad. Should I use it? It's a 14. Wasn't the worst. Repair is 7, so 21.
21? Okay. With the dice escaping roll, you manage to actually rewire this thing, and after a moment, you hear a click, and it starts projecting an image. And it seems... You're not entirely sure what the graphical user interface of this thing is, but it seems to be a series of... Sorry, I need to count 1, 2, 3, 4. A series of 4 circles surrounding what seems to be a central directory of some kind. However, you do not know what these circles are about. You think you would need Bessie to translate for you.
Can I click on one anyway?
Sure.
Yeah.
You click on one, and you start hearing a voice, and it just starts talking. It sounds like it's some kind of log, but you're not sure what it's saying.
Okay.
Are our comm systems set up such that when you're hearing, like, that we can hear what's going on in each other's environments, or just when we speak?
It can be set so that you can hear what someone else is hearing in the environment. It's up to you.
I can turn it on. I could do that. It's on the suit or it's in the helmet?
It's on the suit. It's
Okay.
part of your suit systems. You can change it.
Okay. I think when I start hearing it, I'm going to turn on and be like, hey guys, I found something. Obviously I don't know what it says, but Leaf, can you do anything with Bessie with this? And it's talking still, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Bessie starts translating. It's a little bit slower. You get the sense it's probably like 5 seconds behind, and it starts here. I have issued what weapons we have to the remaining crew and warned the Marden. They say they have a plan, but cannot include us. If anyone ever hears these words, please correct our mistake. We reserved a black box backup of Ordum's research in the lab, and I have confirmed that the Aura was unable to purge its data. A cure was almost complete when Ordum changed. If you have followed the containment protocol detailed in our distress call, you have a good chance to complete the research.
Containment
Doc,
protocol.
Doc, don't take off your suit.
Containment protocol. Why wasn't that in the... Why didn't we get that part of the message?
Yeah, the message didn't include anything. It just said distress.
It said something about extreme caution, but there was garbles. There were parts of the message that simply were corrupted.
Leaf immediately switches his suit back to containment mode.
Okay. You immediately switch your suit back to containment mode. Are you going to go through and listen to the rest of these? It looks like, now that Bessie's starting to translate things for you, it looks like you somehow clicked on the last log.
Okay.
By nature of a potentially four-sided dice.
Is it? I mean, how are the computers obviously working? But it seems like they're not working well.
It seems like this one's running off of a little bit of spare power somewhere. You're not entirely sure where. The facility, regardless, is not fully powered right now.
I'm working on it.
So actually, now that the rest of you have heard this, are you going to make your way to wherever Kai is to get the rest of this, or are you going to keep exploring on your own?
I'm going to continue trying to get stuff so I can get more power, so I can get power restored to the facility.
Again, you have no way of. You are fairly sure that there's no way to increase the level of power from here.
I don't know if that's priority.
Okay, so let me just make sure I
things.
understood what you actually said, because I feel like maybe I didn't. There's the control panels that control where power goes. Power is coming in from somewhere.
Correct.
And it's just not going out of this control panel.
Correct.
Which means there is power somewhere, and I can't change that, how much of that there is, but I can get power to things that currently don't have it.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that.
All right, so where are you going to try and redirect power?
Am I assuming that I have already gone and gotten spare parts and come back? Okay.
Yeah. This is going to be a dangerous check with the power running, just so you know.
Yes, I'm aware.
And by dangerous, I mean dangerous in that this is all of Leaf's health on the line here.
Uh-huh.
Easily.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
What am I looking at here? What do I...
You're going to be rolling a repair check.
God. Roll it well.
It's not going to be an easy repair check. You know that much. Your character would have enough of an idea to know that much.
How much can I expect my suit to protect me from the consequences of what's about to happen?
There's enough power in here where it's not going to matter if you're wearing a suit or not.
Cool. Well, before I energize any of this, any of the stuff, is there a disconnect? Is there a button that I can press to disconnect the part I'm working on from the power source?
It looks like that's controlled from elsewhere.
Is there a cable going somewhere I could follow?
Just judging by the look of it, you might have luck in the admin module where Kai is.
Hey Kai, do you see anything that looks like a power source?
I see a computer with some very troubling messages on it. And I see there's a console upstairs that a bunch of pigeons pooped on.
Yeah, can you go take a look at that for me?
Okay.
I don't want to die, but I kind of want to.
I'd love for you not to die. What are you doing?
Poking at things. Don't worry about it.
Don't.
I'm trying to bring the facility back online. It's fine.
Can you guys just come here?
Fine.
Okay.
Leaf reluctantly walks away from the life-ending console of doom.
Thank God.
Is the doc going to be joining the crew, or do you want to be looking at something else?
Well, I mean, I kind of want to see if I can find the lab. I mean, I don't want to necessarily go in. But I want to check the other rooms. So we've opened. So there's one that's welded shut.
Is the one that's welded shut.
Oh, I thought we hadn't been in all the doors. I thought there was still one more door. So there's one that was welded shut.
Is there one?
Maintenance hatch.
And then storage room hatch, and then admin.
Storage room hatch, admin, and then the one we came through.
Correct.
Because north was admin, right?
Correct. Technically, the east door is to the destroyed landing pad.
Okay, so I guess what I'll join up with everybody else and tell them what I found. So I'm gonna catch you guys up. This is what we found. There's a door that's welded shut over there. Is
I
anybody?
can handle that. Although
I don't know that
Let's
we want to
not.
open it.
Yeah.
I think that's the lab.
that's
where the
Containment.
contaminant that they've tried to contain things in. Let's not open the lab.
Hey Doc, you do biology thingamawhatsits, right?
Right.
Yeah. Can you figure out what Kai and I just breathed in?
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run.
If anything, because as far as we know, nothing's happened. As far as we know, we're uncontaminated.
I would
Well,
I
why-
would
so
say
I guess I asked why. Why? What makes you think you have been contaminated?
you heard the message.
No, I was in a different room.
No, it was over comms.
Oh, it was over the whole
Yeah.
comms.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got to hear the doom and gloom translation.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna immedimmally pull out my research kits,
Stethoscope.
the stethoscope. No, I'm gonna basically collect, either scan the air or do some kind of a air sample collection and see if I
Okay.
can figure out if there's anything there. Look at it under with some kind of microscope scanner. I don't know what are tools I've got.
All right, let me. Oh, stop my computer. All right. In this case, I'm gonna have you do a research check.
I got a 5 plus research plus 4, a 9. Not particularly great.
I mean, besides what you'd normally expect to find in sea air, you're really not seeing anything terribly out of the ordinary right now.
Is
All
there
right, well, that's good. I mean, it might be something that I can't, I tell the rest of the crew, I tell the other two that, there may be something that I can't detect, but, I mean, I think we should keep ourselves protected, but so far, but right now I can't find anything.
is there a way that like Kai and Leaf can like assess themselves as like that's not really like how do I feel?
At the moment, you feel just fine.
Okay.
Can we read any of the things? So, I mean, somebody was working on a cure. So let's see if we can find the research in the computer. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use can I use a robot repair patch and see if I can repair any of the consoles?
Before you do that, should we try and get power back to the facility?
Well, I think
See if
I
we can
think-
get all of these other things up and running.
Well, are there
Well-
cameras in the other rooms? I mean, can we see what's going on in the...
the computer that I brought that log up on, there's like it looked like at least there were 3 more. I don't know what else is on the computer. I can't read Arak. That's the coalition's name, right?
Alok.
Alok.
A lock.
Yes.
The wrong consonant. I can't read it, but like Leaf, if you want Bessie to try it. This console seems like it's working fine though. I also would love it, Leaf, if you didn't try to kill yourself on my watch. That would be
I didn't.
awesome.
You told me not to, and I stopped.
Well, if you are going to try to put the power back on, then you will. Maybe
Well,
we
I'm gonna
don't mess
turn
with
off
that.
the thing I need to fix first.
Okay.
If I can turn off power, then it'll be fine.
Do we know that we're going to get the power back?
I mean, the power's not going anywhere useful right now.
It's going to enough things. I don't know if we want to tempt fate.
You get a message on your helmet from Bessie saying, essentially, show me the console in the admin room.
Okay, I do.
All right, so you turn a camera that Bessie is connected to, and in real time, on your heads-up display, Bessie starts translating it, and it looks like it is a general power readout on that console. And what it's showing you is that there are actually 3 facilities that are, 4 facilities that are receiving power. What is the main facility, which is running at only 20% power?
Which is where we are.
Correct.
Okay.
Another is called the depth facility, which is running at 80% power. Another is called excavation, which is running at seems to be negligible power. And then the final one is where the power is coming from, the power generation system. From what you can tell from the information that Bessie is printing out, everything except this facility you're standing in now is underwater.
Maybe we don't turn off power to everything.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. I think, honestly, according to that, if anyone's still around here, if someone sent that distress signal, which sure sounds like they did, they're probably in the place that has the most power. And I'm also not going to go back to excavating stuff. I had too much of the whole, like, almost getting run over by mine trucks. Like, I'm done with that. So maybe we just go to that depth
Can
facility.
I turn off power to this facility without turning off power to
You
everything
actually
else?
try accessing the power systems. It locks you out every single time.
Good.
Something
Kai watches. Good.
something is actively preventing you from accessing it.
I
You
think
do have, however, a control for the distress signal if you wanted to press that button.
Is it currently active?
Oh yeah, it's active, and Bessie translates it to broadcasting every 1.16 hours.
Well,
Can I
because
dump, can I dump the contents of the distress signal, like, or display the contents of the distress signal so that we can actually see what it really says?
right, that's what I was just going to ask. Is there any way to get, see if we can find the corrupted
'Cause-
pieces?
Sure.
Well, the uncorrupted version, because presumably what they're sending isn't corrupted.
I'm gonna say in the process of doing that, Bessie just examines it really quick and says, "Yeah, no, it's trash.
Ah,
What you heard is the best that you're gonna
is
get."
what it was actually sending. Okay.
Pretty much.
okay.
Worth a shot. There was a hurricane in the way.
Yeah. Leaf, I really think we should just leave the power alone. I do
Fine.
think we should listen to those other logs though.
All right. I like
Pop
that idea.
downstairs.
Alrighty.
Well, I want to see if there, are there cameras in this facility? Is there any way we can,
There,
I want to see what's in that door, that welded shut door.
you can try
Like, I want to see what's in
activating.
that room.
You can try activating it. It would require you changing the function of this console, but a little bit of tinkering, a couple of minutes, you'd probably be able to do it.
All right, I'm going to give that a try.
All right, go for it.
Well, yeah, I guess while you're doing that, I'll go start translating.
All right. There are 4 logs in total that you are translating, and while Matthew finishes up his roll, I'll just give you the basic rundown of them. They all take place over the course of about 80 days, it would seem. And they're from the 57th cycle of the 5th millennium, and they are the logs of the facility administrator. Matthew, what did you get?
My roll was a 7 plus a 3 computer use.
Okay, now that you've got a translation of the system, it's pretty basic. You just activate surveillance systems and take a look. The camera in the lab works, but just barely. You are getting a lot of static. Go ahead and roll a spot check for me.
Okay.
And is anyone else looking at this while the doc's working on it?
I think I'm downstairs with Leaf.
Okay. Yeah, Doc, you don't really see anything.
Okay.
All right.
Is that all we get from the logs?
Is there? Do we find a map of this place?
You've got a general map. You're able to download it into your suit's systems.
Is there a med bay?
The lab more or less acts like a med bay. You get some information on the depth facility, and apparently it also has a dedicated med bay.
Is there any way to communicate with the depth facility?
If there is, anything you're sending is not responding.
Is that all we got from the logs?
The logs actually go into a decent amount of detail. The first log details the construction of the facility. The administrator was quite happy. They were following a standard protocol with their EVA suits. Everything seemed to be holding up to the wear and tear. They also detected a trace of something that they were interested in at a fairly deep depth, and they were beginning to excavate it. The log progresses. They locate the exact location of the thing that they were looking for. They also detail that a specimen that they recover is between 15 and 20 million cycles old. You get the sense that cycle is essentially their equivalent of a year. And apparently the native wildlife appears to not suffer any ill effects for whatever they've discovered. Then there's one detailing that there has been a containment breach. Protocol is followed, and the lab was sealed. It is unknown whether it spread beyond the lab, and a ship is on its way to assist. And then the final log before it got cut off details the ship arrived, demanded their research, they transmitted it as they were ordered, and then the ship in orbit proceeded to destroy their landing pad and the transport that they had, and then leave.
Wow. Okay. What?
And how long ago did all this happen? I mean, are we able to tell?
Yeah,
does their date system mean anything to us?
On the surface, it doesn't. If you want to run a basic computer use check, you can find out how many cycles it's been since the computer was last booted.
I'll do that. I break the computer. I got a 1.
You hit the shutdown button instead of the how long has it been
God
button.
damn it, Kai.
I'm
Let
sorry.
me press the buttons.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry.
And in fact, luckily Bessie recorded all of this, so you haven't lost the logs. However, the computer itself starts smoking.
To be fair, I was the one who fixed it, so I was the one who turned it on in the first place. So I could fix it
Unplugs
again.
the computer.
Thank you. It's
Okay.
fine. We got what we needed.
Okay.
All right, so you have a central
Is
list you
there
can
a
go
hard
in,
drive in this thing?
of a sort.
A storage unit?
Kinda. You're not very familiar with their computer technology. If you take the whole thing with you, you probably could eventually figure it out.
This is the same civilization that Esh built, right? Like they're the built
Correct.
Esh, right?
Correct.
And I've seen what their hard drives look like because I've held one.
You haven't seen one this size. This thing is like a miniaturized version of what you found.
Gotcha.
We'll come back for it. It's fine.
Fine.
Okay. So, you have. I mean, well, what do you guys want to do?
I personally want to go to the depth place. The deep place, one might say.
I mean, isn't that going to be the potential for danger there is similar to opening the lab?
Yeah, but I mean, if are we gonna help these people or are we gonna leave them? You know.
Well,
I would.
But did we know where they went? I mean, did the logs explain?
That's the only place with power.
The logs did not say. The logs did say, however, that the chief scientist was working on a cure for this thing.
In this lab facility.
There might be a cure in progress in that lab facility.
Well, can I look? Can I look at any of the records? I mean, is there any information about is there any of the research?
Hey Doc, did you ever get that camera online?
Not very well. I mean, it's on, but it's not working very well.
Oh, let me go take a look.
Okay, make a
That'd be
spot check.
great. I'm not
So
one of those
console-
computer people.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at it, and that's not great. Is it grimy or is it like blurry? Like, why can't I see things?
Static.
That was a 5, by the way.
It's a combination of the two. It's grimy. It's a little blurry. There's static. It looks like a room.
Can I make the camera move back and forth or anything to try and jostle some of the grime off of it?
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Okay.
Kai, do you want to gather around this console and look at the camera too?
I think it's fine. I don't know. You guys really want to? Okay. This is how I see our two options. Either I take my little multi-tool and we cut ourselves a hole into the door, into the lab, and see what's going on in there. And maybe there's a cure. And maybe there's something that'll just kill us right away. We don't know. I still don't have a helmet on, so if we do that, I'd like to go get mine from upstairs, I think.
Oh yeah, you should do that.
Oh my god, Kai, put your helmet on.
I don't have it with me. It's in
Go
the truck.
Go get it.
Okay, but listen. So we do that, or we go to the depth place, and we see if there's somebody here that sent this signal, right? There has to be.
Well, they activated it, but it's been activated for a long, long time.
Well, so if there's anyone so basically, either someone's alive, and they're down in the depth place, or maybe the power station, but I really doubt that. Or they're all dead.
Wait.
So.
How often was the signal set to repeat?
1.16
once an
hours.
hour.
Yeah, about once an hour.
1.16 hours.
Okay, and what's that in the actual labeling scheme they used?
1.
Yeah, it's literally 1.
Okay, but we know how often it repeated because we saw a full loop of it from the endurance, right?
Correct.
So we can figure out what their time scale is relative to ours.
Yes.
Which means we can translate the dates somewhat.
If you're able to find out how long it's been. Because you don't have a date reference. You don't know what today is or a specific date in your history is compared to their calendar.
While you
Gotcha.
do this, Kai's gonna run upstairs. Ding ding. Ding ding. Downstairs.
You've got your helmet again.
Yes.
Okay.
And it should be mentioned your suits have enough power for about 8 hours of operation before they have to be recharged.
How long have we been out since?
A little over an hour.
Okay.
All right. Well, I say we. I'm fine with heading down.
Okay, so here's how I look at it. There's there's a depth facility, right?
Mhm.
And we don't know if they're contaminated, and we don't know if we're contaminated,
And we don't know if the lab's contaminated.
and we can be pretty sure the lab's contaminated.
But if we have suits on,
We might survive going into the lab. If we're already contaminated and we go to that depth facility, we might be dooming any survivors.
but if we have suits on,
But didn't whatever
we should be.
they found come from there? I mean, I guess I don't understand why they would have gone
It came
down
from their
there.
excavation facility.
Excavation
Is that
facility
not
was
in?
shut down. It was a separate one.
Right, but
Basically
that's
shut
where they
down.
found whatever specimen they were talking about.
Oh, okay, I thought that was the deep. I thought that was what we're calling the deep.
Yeah, there's a depth facility and then there's an excavation site.
Oh, I apologize. I missed that there were those two
Um,
separate things. Well, then let's go down.
So, but by the same token, if we think our suits will protect us, why not go into the lab and then seal it up after we're done?
Because if I
Do
cut a
that.
hole through the lab, we can't seal it up.
Can
You
you
didn't
cut
s-
through
with the other door you didn't really specify and it was unresponsive, so I just assume you cut a hole. This one, if you're careful, you could probably just cut it loose.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, it's just welded around the outside.
Yeah,
just
just-
use your torch to cut it open and get into the door. I mean, I don't think there's a right answer. So I think that based on the information we have and we seem to be able to get, I think either of those is a fine
Okay.
approach. Though I mean, if we see the people, if we go find if we can find the survivors, maybe they can tell us a little bit more about what was going on before that was sealed. You know, that would
Well, the last people who came here to help blew up their landing pad.
Yeah. I don't know if they love visitors.
Well, the
but
people
they need
from
them.
the people who I mean, they called for assistance.
Yeah.
I mean, the people on the platform didn't blow up their own landing pad. The
No.
people from space
Right.
blew up the landing pad. So
The last people to respond to their distress call blew up their landing pad.
Well, it was
Right,
a
but
different
they
kind
also
of
didn't-
distress call, I think.
they also didn't. They transmitted information and didn't they didn't come down for a look. So we're
Yeah.
already not doing the same thing. We're not obliterating them from orbit.
All right. Lab or elevator? Should we flip a coin? He's got a coin. Leaf pulls out a coin.
Or should we let chat decide?
Yeah, I think we should let the chat decide. I think that's
Okay.
a great
Yeah.
idea.
Where do
Okay,
you want him to go, guys?
really quick. Hold on. I'll do a little, really quick. Poll. Oh, not view results. Hold on. New poll. Lab or depth facility? Lab. The deep. You get 1 minute. Go. All right. While we debate. Ding, 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 ding. I think this is going to be the last decision that we make today, is what direction we go in, and then Grant can leave us on a wonderful cliffhanger.
Yes.
So while we wait for you guys to vote in that, I will give you my spiel at the end of episodes. So as far as next week goes, I will be back on Monday playing some of a game called An Airport for Aliens, currently run by dogs. It is hilarious. It's a great game. You should come hang out. Wednesday, me and Michael will be back talking about some astronomy news. And Friday, we will be back here for some more D&D in Space. If you haven't yet, please follow. If you are so inclined, like Yig and Playing Science, to subscribe, you can do that too. And I think that's about it. If you've missed any of our episodes of D&D in Space, they're all uploaded to the Active Galactic channel, as will this one. Probably by end of day, like tomorrow, it'll be up. And I think that's it. And the poll has ended. And the results
Looks like
are
we're
in. We're going
Going into
to
the
lab.
lab.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the lab.
The scientist in me is excited to find out
What alien science tech looks like.
exactly. Get my hands on some.
All right. Do I have to
Alright.
roll
Some research equipment.
to
Yeah,
break open the door?
Roll. It's technically a repair check, so go ahead and do that.
I love your idea of repair.
Yeah, repair is taking things apart too.
Is this why your computer doesn't work?
Oh, shots fired.
That was
Excuse me.
rude.
Of course, that's been its experience. So I mean, yeah.
A natural 20 on repair.
Okay, you cut this thing open, and if anything, it probably works better than it did before. So you hit the button on the side, and it just slides open. And as you step through the threshold, you are... Hang on, where'd my description go? Because I had a wonderful description of this. Why am I missing this? So yeah, as you step through the glowing, smoking door you just cut open, you find yourselves in what appears to be a lab of some kind. There are long counters lining the back wall with many different scientific instruments mounted on them, as well as a twin pair of islands with experiments spread all over them. To the far right, you see what appears to be a specimen tank, but you cannot determine what's inside. And the lights above the door, or the lights above, flicker on and off, but nothing else appears to be drawing power. However, as you step through the threshold, something does move. A form hovers up from the floor, flies over one of the islands toward you, and you realize it's a robot. And it hovers on blue light as it approaches, and it appears to be made of two orbs resting on top of each other, projecting hard light as some form of arm or appendage. There are a series of deep scratches along the side of its body, each sizzling with rampant energy surges. 3 bright triangles on the upper sphere, or head, as you're naturally wanting to call it, seem to look you over and size you up. Then it raises an arm. Bright electricity crackles around an appendage at its end, and it says,
Alert! Unauthorized biologicals entering a restricted area. State your business or prepare to be destroyed.
I knew we should have taken the elevator. All right.
That's where we'll end it.
That's where we'll end it. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Thank you to Game Master Grant for leading us on this adventure. Thank you to Kyle and Matthew for joining me as a adventuring team. And I think since I did all my other announcements, we will wrap it up there. We'll be
Excellent.
back
Thanks
next
for
week.
joining us today, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend, everyone. See
And
you
thanks
next
for
week.
sending us to the lab.
Yes.
Bye, everyone.